I just look at my daughter full makeup, singing She's in Love with an Emo Girl on TikTok, and I didn't have no say nor approval. Hey, what do you think? Do you think this would be cool or not? You know what I mean? And I'm the one that made them cool. But then I'm not asked what's cool for my actual children in America. Like, nah, man. And I'm just not playing. I'm taking control of my narrative this year. I'm being the father, the best father, the yay version of a father. And I'm not finna let this happen. And we're gonna be in real time
take a slight
with
right
this
turn onto
right here.
North.
Chicago, happy birthday. I love you. And I'm just putting this online because I need y'all's support.
What happens when a child's name is no longer just a name, but a legally protected trademark? This isn't a hypothetical question. It's the reality at the heart of a bitter war between two of the most powerful figures in entertainment, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Their battleground is the future of their own daughter, North West. On one side, a father convinced he's fighting to save his daughter's soul from a predatory system. On the other, a mother building the next generation of a billion-dollar dynasty. But as the fight gets uglier, with threats of lawsuits and shocking accusations of exploitation, the world is starting to ask if North is a daughter being raised or a product being launched. The latest battle was ignited not by an argument, but by a picture. This past summer, the ancient streets of Rome became the backdrop for a very modern controversy. 12-year-old North West was photographed, and the images sent an immediate shockwave across the internet. It wasn't just the bright blue hair or the professional-grade makeup. It was the outfit that stopped everyone in their tracks. A tiny, leather-like miniskirt paired with a tightly laced corset top, an ensemble that seemed ripped from an adult's wardrobe and styled for a nightclub. Not a family vacation. The public backlash was instantaneous and brutal. Social media feeds on Instagram and TikTok were flooded with accusations aimed squarely at Kim, with thousands of comments labeling her parenting as gross, disturbing, and irresponsible. Critics claimed she was so desperate to maintain her status as a fashion icon that she was turning her preteen daughter into a personal accessory, forgetting her actual job was to protect her. This outrage didn't happen in a vacuum. The public's memory is long, and the dark shadow of the Balenciaga scandal loomed large. That controversy, which dangerously blurred the lines between high fashion and the exploitation of children, left a deep scar. For many, seeing Kim, a former ambassador for the brand, style her own daughter in such a provocative manner felt like a tone-deaf and deeply concerning echo of the past. It was the spark that lit the fuse, and one person was watching more closely than anyone. While the internet's fury was loud and public, Kanye West was uncharacteristically quiet. But his silence wasn't a sign of surrender. It was the calm before a calculated storm. Soon, reports began to trickle out from sources deep within his inner circle, painting a picture of a father pushed past his breaking point. This wasn't going to be another late-night Instagram rant. The Rome photos had reportedly triggered a much more serious response. Insiders claimed Kanye was absolutely livid, viewing the corset and miniskirt not as a fashion statement, but as a profound betrayal. He saw it as Kim actively endangering their daughter's innocence for the sake of clicks and headlines. According to these reports, he delivered a chilling ultimatum directly to Kim, backed by the threat of an all-out legal war. The message was said to be blunt and uncompromising. Either she reigns in North's provocative public image immediately, or he would instruct his lawyers to challenge their custody arrangement. He was reportedly exploring every legal option to gain more control over North's styling, her social media presence, and any future brand deals. This wasn't just a threat to sue. It was a threat to dismantle their entire co-parenting dynamic in a very public courtroom. This declaration of war transformed their endless drama into a high-stakes legal showdown. But for Kanye, the fight wasn't just with Kim. He believed she was merely following orders from a far more powerful figure. To understand Kanye's explosive reaction, you have to look past Kim and focus on the person he believes is pulling all the strings, the matriarch herself, Kris Jenner. In Kanye's world, Kim isn't the true villain. She's simply a product of the system her mother created. He has made the shocking and repeated allegation that Kris is the true puppeteer, the ghost in the machine who orchestrates every major move the family makes. The controversial outfits, the media attention, he claims it's not a series of parenting missteps, but the deliberate execution of a sinister and long-term strategy. Kanye calls this strategy the playbook. It's a term he's used to describe what he sees as Kris's methodical process of grooming her own granddaughters for fame and fortune. The alleged steps are chillingly familiar. Start with early and controlled public exposure, introduce headline-grabbing fashion choices that blur the line between child and adult, and cultivate a massive social media following. The ultimate goal, according to Kanye's claims, is to transform North from a child into a fully marketable brand before she's even old enough to understand what that means. He believes she is being molded, piece by piece, into the next multi-million-dollar asset for the family empire. The alleged motive is simple: legacy and money. With the original Kardashian stars aging, a new generation is needed to continue the dynasty, and North is the heir apparent. But is this just paranoia on Kanye's part? He claims his dark theory is based on the alleged first chapter of the family's playbook, a controversial and scandalous event that he believes created the blueprint for everything that was to come. To understand his fear, we have to look back at that beginning. The blueprint Kanye fears is rooted in the infamous tape that launched Kim Kardashian's career. While the official story was a devastating leak, an alternate narrative, pushed relentlessly by Ray J, paints a far more disturbing picture. This version of events is the cornerstone of Kanye's argument, the historical proof he believes exposes Kris Jenner's true nature and the dark foundation upon which their empire was built. According to Ray J's explosive claims, there was no leak. He alleges that Kris Jenner was the strategic mastermind behind the release, acting like a producer and reviewing different versions to select the most commercially viable one. In this chilling account, a private scandal is transformed into a meticulously planned business launch, allegedly orchestrated by the one person who should have been protecting her daughter. It reframes a mother's role into that of a ruthless marketer, willing to turn anything into a product. This dark legend, whether true or not, is what fuels Kanye's paranoia that history is repeating itself with his daughter North. He uses it as ammunition to justify his crusade. But while Kanye points fingers at the past, his own recent actions have exposed a staggering hypocrisy, giving his critics the perfect weapon to turn his arguments right back against him. Just as Kanye was positioning himself as North's righteous protector, his moral crusade collapsed under the weight of his own hypocrisy. He dropped a bombshell announcement that left fans speechless. His daughter, Northwest, would feature on a new track with Diddy Combs. The issue wasn't the music, it was the collaborator. At the time, Diddy was at the very center of one of the darkest scandals in music history, making Kanye's decision seem utterly baffling and reckless. The timing could not have been worse. While Kanye preached about protecting innocence, Diddy was facing a firestorm of disturbing allegations, complete with multiple accusers and shocking video evidence. Yet Kanye saw fit to place his 12-year-old daughter's name into this toxic mix of legal battles and public fury. The collaboration was so tone-deaf, it made the public question his judgment entirely. Was he even considering his daughter's well-being? Or was this purely about making a statement, no matter the cost to her? The public backlash was swift and severe. Fans and critics alike were sickened, all asking the same obvious question. How can a man fight to shield his daughter from exploitation while simultaneously linking her professionally to a figure accused of such heinous acts? The contradiction was indefensible. For many, it was the ultimate proof that Kanye's war wasn't about protecting North, but about ego and control. In one move, he destroyed his own moral high ground and handed his opponents the perfect weapon to use against him. The Diddy controversy did more than just expose Kanye's hypocrisy. It unveiled a shocking truth about the nature of their conflict. This wasn't just a fight between parents. It was a corporate power struggle. When Kim moved to block the collaboration, she revealed her trump card. She legally owns the trademark for the name Northwest. This stunning legal maneuver means that for any commercial venture, from music to makeup, Kim has the final say. In the eyes of the law, North isn't just a child. She is a brand, and her mother is the sole proprietor. This legal reality came to a head in a series of fiery text messages that surfaced online. In the exchange, Kim defended her position. telling Kanye she had trademarked the name to protect North. Kanye's response was chilling and immediate. He reportedly shot back, telling her to amend the paperwork or he was going to war, a conflict he warned neither of them would recover from. It was a direct threat, showing just how high the stakes had become and how far he was willing to go to seize control. This raw exchange laid bare a brutal reality. The battle over North's innocence had morphed into a war over ownership of her name. Their daughter had been reduced to a valuable asset, a billion-dollar brand to be fought over. The question was no longer just about what was best for North, but about who had the right to control her. In the center of this corporate and personal warfare stood a 12-year-old girl, caught in a crossfire she never asked to be in. Beyond the legal threats and the public accusations, at the very center of this hurricane stands Northwest. While her parents wage war over her future, she is forced to live in the chaotic present they have created. She isn't just a daughter. She has become a symbol, a brand, and a battleground. Every aspect of her young life is now a talking point in a bitter public feud, turning her childhood into a spectacle for the world to consume. She is caught between two impossible extremes. One day she is in her mother's world, being styled in designer corsets and sitting front row at fashion shows, her image carefully curated for millions of followers. The next, she is a central figure in her father's public rants, held up as a symbol of innocence that must be saved from the very system that feeds them all. There is no normal, no middle ground, only the constant jarring whiplash between two conflicting ideologies, with her identity trapped in the middle. The casualty in all of this is, of course, her childhood. Every outfit is judged, every TikTok video is dissected, and millions of strangers debate her upbringing as if they have a stake in it. The pressure is unimaginable for any child. As her parents fight over what is best for her, they seem to ignore the damage being done in real time. This leaves the world with a final, haunting question. In this high-stakes game for control, can anyone truly win? In the end, the battle for Northwest is a storm of contradictions. Is Kanye a righteous protector or a massive hypocrite? Is Kim a reckless parent or a savvy businesswoman building an heir to her empire? While they wage their public war, the ultimate question is about North herself. In a world where a child's name is a trademark, is she destined to be the Kardashian dynasty's next great success or its most tragic product? Let us know what you think in the comments below.